Um, all right, so THC had his hand up.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot. Sorry, I had a little bit of an issue with the audio earlier when I came in, but I appreciate you taking the time and just dropping so much value like you always do. Just I love seeing you. Just, I mean, this guy, you just. I don't want to say you're roasting these people, but like you don't give a fuck. Like if it's not like if there's red flags, like you're showing the red flags. You're not just like bullshitting and being like, oh yeah, it fucking looks real good, dude, and fucking jerking them off the whole time. Like it's totally game changer. And you've seen me around. I respect it because I kind of have a passion for exposing, not saying that that project is a scam or anything, but I have a passion for kind of exposing, scammers and stuff like that too. And I've been doing that for years in different ways. But we were kind of agreeing on a lot of this stuff, with the Jenner thing, and a lot of the stuff that you say, I agree with. There's the one thing about base, obviously. There's a little bit of difference of opinion there, but I'd love to, chat with you further about it. And I know you have reasons, for why you believe the things that you believe about base. But we can talk about that another time.
We
Uh,
definitely have to, because I'd love to get my mind changed. But man, it's every day with these guys. They're fucking moonboying on chain summer, and they're not addressing security at all. Like now they're texting coins to each other. It just gets worse and worse. Like Solana phone's bad as it is. You want your phone and your crypto as far away from the internet and connections and social stuff as you can. You don't want these guys knowing your KYC at all. Like you don't. Okay, if you had a lot of money in a wallet and they knew your KYC, they phone your phone company, they pay off the guy, they get into your phone with a SIM swap, and they know it's worth it because you got $1 million in your wallet. They pay 100 grand, and boom, they just robbed you. I mean, that's one of the dangers of KYC, but there's a million dangers, and you got to look for the people who are looking for your wallets. Certain exchanges, you got a KYC with Bybit all the time. You got a KYC with a bunch of stuff. Base Chain brought Frentech back, bro. Like Frentech's the worst thing in the entire world, so they have a lot to answer for, in my opinion. And like just the other day, I posted on my page. I gotta find it so I'm not wrong, but I mean, some chick got an email from Coinbase trying to like reset her stuff, and she went through her whole journey. How they phoned from Coinbase, said they were from Coinbase, tried to change the password to fix something. She said, "How do I know you're Coinbase?" They said, "We're gonna email you." And she sent the email and said, "But it was the wrong address or whatever." And then some guy in the comments said, "That's actually their legitimate email, though." Laughed my ass off. And I don't know if that's true, but it got a lot of views. Everyone in the comments of his post seemed to kind of agree. They said it looks legit, and that just makes me worry. And I see that all the time with them. And
I
today,
have a
my
comment about that. So
yeah,
that email thing, you could kind of spoof what it shows up, and you actually have to click on it or right click and the info. It actually will say what the email address is coming from. Because I actually got legitimate looking emails from like Wells Fargo or bank, whatever bank you're using. And but then you look at it and it's like some XYZ at info.com or whatever. Like, so you could, if you're not careful, it could look real.
yeah, I guess that's a good point. And I saw Jesse Polak for the first time today. That I want to drop a racist slur. I forget what movie it's from, but that dude's guilty. Fuck it. And I've called out all these guys, and they haven't done shit. If they're a legitimate company, they would have gone after me for slander by now. And I think they know that I know just how dirty they are. I got a long list of shit on everybody. Solana, Base. I don't want to look into Vitalik. I already fought that guy's dad. I put Vitalik's dad in a headlock, and I nuggied him, and I threw him on the ground, and I laughed at him, and I ran away. So I don't want to go after Vitalik just yet. I like Ethereum. I don't want to crash everything. I don't want to cause too much controversy, but Solana is pretty dirty, and Base is super dirty, in my opinion. But we can have that chat, THC, on the next hangout spot. Did you want to show your project at all?
yeah, definitely. No, and I appreciate it, man. And I appreciate you being skeptical and, looking further into it and telling people to be safe, because I totally understand they probably should be doing more as far as warning people of the dangers and different types of scams that are happening. I think it's one of those things I mean, I'm not making excuses for them, but I'm sure it has something to do with conversions. And, if someone's going to do something or get on your platform, you don't want to like have some red big warning popping up going, hey, just so you know, you're about to get scammed or you could get scammed. Like, it's a marketing
Well,
thing.
you
Of
can
course they're not going to
say,
fucking.
"Welcome to the beautiful world of base chain. Here's some good things, but here's some things to keep in mind." Like, you can word it a certain way. You don't need big red warnings, but it should be more talked about, like 20 posts about on-chain summer, no addressing the fact that customer support is basically non-existent. But also,
Yeah.
like, can you fucking warn us that you might lock our funds up for 2 weeks? Like, they love to trash talk the Solana chain, not Base in general, but all the influencers they paid. They're literally roasting Solana for being clogged. If Base actually became popular, it'll get clogged too. All the scams will be there too. The contracts are more exploitable. But when you get whales there, I left Coinbase because they shut down my account. I wasn't even taking out a lot of money. So when whales are trying to use that as their main thing and they have errors, I mean, I've already seen their main fucking website get hacked. It's there's a lot of sketchy shit to it, and for people to just want to, like, I don't see the connection. We're onboarding 1 billion people because we have a Coinbase wallet. I mean, did Trust Wallet bring a billion new people just because they brought fucking Trust Wallet out? Like, it's just so ridiculous in
It's,
my head.
in my opinion, it's just the money and them trying to attract the builders, and they are doing a lot
Yeah,
of big.
well, here's
They're
the
doing a
thing,
lot of
bro.
big giveaways and stuff, and they got 340 billion in assets on the site. So I mean, it's. I agree that Coinbase has their issues. I've had issues with them holding my money before, but I think Base Chain as a separate unit is. I mean, obviously it's the same company, but the less dealing with the centralized exchanges, in my opinion, the better. But yeah, can I don't want to spend the whole time on
No, no,
base chain, but
you hit a sensitive subject there. It's like, oh man. But here's the thing. Last quick. It's about the money, but how did they get the money? Like, they're fucking getting sued by the SEC because they weren't paying out staking for their people. Staking is fucking gross. Once I learned Ethereum had staking, I was ready to fucking drive to Waterloo and ask Vitalik why he did it. I wasn't gonna beat him up just yet. I was gonna ask him why he did it. But I mean, where's the money come from, and why didn't Base succeed the first time? Why was Bald the first coin launched there, and why was it a fucking rug pull? I mean, you got to be more responsible. I'm pretty sure they're involved in it. I'm not going to say they were because I can't prove it just yet. I don't care that much. I already know what I think, and I don't think it's going to be swayed. But
mm,
like, if they were this big successful company, they wouldn't have had such a shitty roundabout of it the first time they came out.
yeah, no, I agree, man, and I think that's a shortfall of a lot of big companies like PayPal, Facebook, Twitter, all these big companies. Their support sucks, and then they expect you to have the best support in the world. I mean, for example, when I was in e-commerce, they held like $8,000 of my money when I started a business like 10 years ago, for 6 months because they said my business grew too fast. So it's like, that's the kind of shit I deal with. So I'm kind of used to that. But just getting off the Coinbase thing, do you mind if I just give you like my quick little
I mean,
pitch
one
and then
last
we
thing.
can.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, you're good.
All right, brother. So you know me, I've been around, but we just launched on the 18th. You can hear from me and the other dev who's fully doxxed. You can go to our X page right now. The pinned post is actually a video of me that I edited that is actually me. So you can see a face and a person behind it. My background's in trading and marketing, and I've been a marketer for, since the time I was like 18. I'm 33 now. That's my specialty, and I've been in. I bought into Bitcoin around 5K. I'm kind of back new to the space. I just kind of got back away from trading and was dealing with a lot of bullshit with brokers and regulations in the stock market, and didn't like all the rules and things like that. So that's kind of why I started investigating, DeFi in the space and stuff like that, and kind of fell in love with the space. Also, I'm a cannabis user. I have been for a long time. I'm pretty passionate about it. I've seen a lot of issues in the industry with the payment processing. It's 90% cash right now. There's not a lot of security. A lot of dispensaries get robbed and stuff like that because they can't keep track of this stuff, and then they have so much cash on hand. And then also they're paying, instead of 3% credit card processing fees, they're paying like 20% because the banks and everyone considers them high risk. So I just feel, the reason we started this was actually Jesse Pollock kind of made a call that this could be a potential solution to the industry. Was using base chain because obviously you have the faster payments. It's almost instant. Everything's pretty much less than a penny now. So I know there's other chains and other things where it could work the same way, but I think crypto just needs to be brought to the cannabis industry. I think it could make a big difference. It could help increase transparency and all that different kinds of stuff. As far as marketing and stuff like that we're working on in different utilities, we have two main ones right now. One's called A High. It's a DApp that we created so that you can create your own images. You can do transcriptions. It'll do, it's got like chat bots on there. We've basically branded it all to the cannabis industry. So like two of our chat bots are like called Cannabot, and then we have like an image generator. So we have a couple image generators that are really like top of the line stuff. But we're just using APIs and stuff and have done it that way. So people are starting to use that. You can do a free account. We also have paid accounts and a referral program. So there's like $100 a month, $200 a month, and there's like a yearly plan. It's all hooked up with a Web3 wallet as well. So if you want to pay that way, that's how we do it. We're doing pretty much advertising on all the major socials. We're on Facebook, Instagram, obviously X, TikTok, every single platform, YouTube. We're making our own music. So we have over like 50 or 60 songs. We have an album that's out now. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music, iTunes, Pandora. It's called Crypto Chronic. So those are just fucking fire. And we basically built a lot of this with AI. And so we're kind of trying to follow a few different industries that we feel like are about to boom and just kind of bring them all together. The second utility that we're really focused on is called Cannabis. Should be out in the next week or two. There's a lack of different token minting companies right now that are providing like good deals for people. So what we're able to do, it's already built and ready to go. The website's ready. We just haven't launched it just yet. You're going to be able to launch a token on basechain, or actually we can do it on THC chain. We want to integrate with these cannabis businesses and stuff like that for 1% of the supply and $100. The main competitor right now is charging 6% of the supply. It's called TokePad. He's done over 40,000 contracts and made like millions of dollars in the first couple of weeks of launching that. And so we kind of modeled it after that, tried to improve upon it. And so we're going to be giving half of that 1% to holders of THC. So that's another thing. And yeah, I've probably talked enough here, but man, I really appreciate it. And any questions, feel free to ask, man. I'm an open book. Shit, I
Oh
can't
yeah,
hear you
I was
now.
on mute
Oh, there
there.
you
My
go.
bad. So I'm just wondering, like, what kind of launch was it? Like, was it a fair launch? You built the hype up beforehand, because it just went straight up, right off the bat.
Yeah, we put basically 10% aside for the devs, me and the other dev, 5% each, and then we put the 90% back in the market. And then we did buy up at the beginning. We bought up about 40% of the supply, just to make sure that we could kind of hold the bottom and not have these snipers come in and just kind of dump on us later. We had obviously like that one major red candle. We had a couple people that bought like as soon as we launched. And they sold off a little bit, but we've been pretty much just going up since then because, we're not really selling anything. We see this as a long-term project and everyone's kind of really believing in the idea. So not really getting a lot of sellers yet. So.
Okay, well, I got some feedback for sure. 1 second here. I just ran it for TTF, but just for the cause, just for my boy here, TT. So you guys have 1% tax. Did you cover what that was for, or I forget?
We're just going to use that for marketing. It's actually been generating like a significant amount. So we'll either market it or we'll burn it or, whatever needs to be done. We're trying to include the community on that decision and like where to put it. But most likely it's going to be marketing. And, because right now pretty much we're doing everything organic. We did a little bit of paid ads at the beginning, but we haven't really sold any and we don't have like a shit ton of this huge budget to just throw at marketing. So we're just trying to do the organic shit until we get a little bit and it makes sense for everyone to sell off a little so that we can do some marketing and more paid ads and stuff like that. So
Okay, cool. So yeah, here comes some feedback. I think the main thing that I would say is it's like a little bit of you're kind of there should be kind of like a identity crisis. I see a little bit here because the website says it's cannabis meme on base. So for me, a meme is like you guys are creating a bunch of content and it's got a cool little logo and you throw it off places and you have that kind of meme culture in the Telegram where I didn't really sense that. And you're going into utility and stuff. When I go through the Instagram, the artwork's really cool and it seems like a lot more professional than anything meme related. So like that's what I mean. I feel like you got to kind of choose a path. I think the path your Instagram is showing me is kind of smarter way. It looks professional. You're bringing utilities out. onboarding cannabis companies, stuff like that. I think that's the direction I'd like to see it go. But like the website is, I guess it kind of looks more professional in a sense, but it does say it's your number one cannabis meme on base, and I just think, I'd like to see a little bit of a better brand identity in that sense, to get a little bit more clarity on where you try to take it. But I love the fact that you got songs. That's awesome. The Instagram's pretty full. The utility sounds pretty cool. What you're trying to do there. I would try to integrate the culture of marijuana in there as well. I mean, giving away some weed or like showcasing different bongs, maybe a bong shop at one point. Because, people who smoke weed, they love it. They love to talk about it. They love all the stuff involved with it. So I would try to integrate that kind of culture part into it as much as you can. Get away from the meme part altogether and make that kind of clear. Sharpen up the website a bit. So, I like the onboarding of the companies though, and that kind of idea. Um, and what about the 6.6% wallet? Is that your guys's or?
That was a sniper from the beginning, still holding on.
Yeah, so obviously that's gonna be a worry, but I mean, these charts like yours, man, they always scare me. So like, I'm always looking for big dips to like make me realize, okay, a lot of the people who are in profit, like a lot of them have sold, and it's fair game. So obviously, a lot of the people who have bought this so far are doing pretty well, especially the guys who bought in right at the start. So it becomes a trust thing. So for me to get more on board. I mean, I'm happy you told us that you own 40%. It's better than acting like you don't own much and you're like, no, I just launched it. We got sniped and we're just trying to. We only got 5%. We're trying to scrape it out. I mean, it's a lot better answer to just tell me how much you have and be transparent about that. But earning trust in crypto is very hard. So for me, it would all be about previous projects. Or I'd want to see that you last the test of time and you're still there, you're still building, and your project's still around and you still don't sell and all that kind of stuff. Or even though I was talking about it against it before, you start burning that or you start locking it or whatever else to instill that trust. Or if you have a very good previous project or someone that can vouch for you, I mean, that always helps. But I mean, those are kind of my initial thoughts. Your Telegram doesn't look too bad, especially for a project that's just, probably not as seen right now as others and not as popular. But I mean, it's still a pretty good Telegram. I'd say the one thing I'm going to say this all night to people, but I like seeing a bunch of different admins in the pin, and it was mostly the one guy, except for one pin by the other guy. And I like the pins that I saw. I like what you guys were pinning. You had some good quality there. You were talking about the raid people, the top 10 who get paid off, so they're paying raid people and stuff like that. I forget the other thing that I saw that I liked, but yeah, overall, not too bad. I'd just be keeping my eye on it because the chart and figuring out how much I can trust you to hold that supply down and seeing if you build that new utility. And yeah, that's my thoughts.
Wow, man, I really appreciate the feedback. I'm definitely going to take that and put that into use and stuff like that. So I really appreciate it. I'm glad that you at least somewhat kind of like it. I'm not saying, I'm not putting words in your mouth, but you didn't roast me, so I appreciate it, man. And I'll be here, so just keep following along, doing what you do, and I'll keep seeing you at these spaces, and we'll keep fucking exposing all these stupid ass scammers. So
Sounds good to me, man.